I never thought a simple swipe right could lead to such terror. But here I am, hiding in a dark closet, praying that the thing that used to be my Tinder date doesn't find me. I should have trusted my instincts, should have seen the signs. But I was lonely, and Sarah seemed so perfect. Let me start from the beginning, before it all went wrong. It was a typical Friday night. I was scrolling through Tinder, more out of boredom than any real hope of finding a connection. That's when I saw her profile. Sarah, 28, a veterinarian with a passion for hiking and old horror movies. Her photos showed a beautiful woman with long dark hair and piercing green eyes. We matched instantly. Our conversation flowed effortlessly. We shared the same obscure taste in films, laughed at each other's jokes, and soon agreed to meet for coffee the next day. I was excited but nervous. It all seemed too good to be true. The cafe was busy when I arrived. I scanned the crowd, looking for Sarah. A tap on my shoulder made me jump. "Alex?" a soft voice asked. I turned to see Sarah, even more stunning in person. But something felt off. Her smile didn't quite reach her eyes, which seemed to shimmer with an unnatural light. "It's great to finally meet you," I said, pushing away my unease. We sat and talked for hours. Sarah was charming, intelligent, and seemed genuinely interested in everything I had to say. As the sun began to set, she leaned in close. "I know this is forward," she whispered, "but would you like to come back to my place? I have a great collection of vintage horror films." Every instinct screamed at me to politely decline. But the way she looked at me, I couldn't resist. I found myself nodding. Sarah's house was on the outskirts of town, an old Victorian that loomed against the darkening sky. As we walked up the creaking porch steps, a chill ran down my spine. "Don't mind the mess," Sarah said as we entered. "I'm still settling in." The interior was sparsely furnished, with heavy curtains blocking out most of the fading light. Sarah led me to a sitting room dominated by a large TV and shelves packed with old VHS tapes. "Make yourself comfortable," she said. "I'll get us some drinks." As Sarah left the room, I examined the tapes. They were all horror movies, many so obscure I'd never heard of them. One caught my eye, joining its case unmarked except for the title. "Find something interesting?" Sarah's voice made me jump. She handed me a glass of deep red wine. "This one," I said, showing her the tape. "I've never heard of it." A strange smile played across Sarah's lips. "It's very rare. Would you like to watch it?" Again, that feeling of wrongness. But I nodded, settling onto the couch as Sarah put the tape in. The movie was unlike anything I'd ever seen. The imagery was disturbing, almost subliminal. Flashes of grotesque transformations, ancient rituals, and things that defied description. I felt dizzy, my vision blurring. "Are you all right?" Sarah asked, her voice sounding distant. I tried to stand, but my legs wouldn't cooperate. The room spun around me. What did you do to me?" I slurred. Sarah's face seemed to shift, her features becoming fluid. "Oh, Alex," she said, her voice deepening, becoming inhuman. "You really should be more careful who you meet online." That's the last thing I remember before blacking out. I woke up strapped to a chair in a dimly lit basement. The walls were covered in strange symbols, and an altar stood before me, covered in candles and arcane objects. Sarah stood there, but she wasn't Sarah anymore. Her skin rippled and moved, as if something underneath was trying to get out. "You're awake," it said. "Good. The joining requires a conscious participant." "What are you?" I gasped. The thing wearing Sarah's face smiled, revealing too many teeth. "I am ancient. I am Legion. And soon, you will be part of me." It began to chant in a language that hurt my ears. The candles flared, and the symbols on the walls began to glow. I struggled against my bonds, but they only seemed to tighten. A mist arose from the altar, coalescing into a writhing mass of tentacles and eyes. It moved towards me, reaching out with appendages that seemed to phase in and out of reality. I screamed as it touched me, an icy burning sensation spreading through my body. I could feel something invading my mind, trying to overwrite who I was. But then, a miracle. One of the straps holding me snapped. In a surge of adrenaline, I broke free, knocking over the altar as I ran for the stairs. The thing that wasn't Sarah howled in rage. "You can't escape," it shrieked. "The joining has begun." I ran through the house, my mind reeling. Everything looked different now, reality seeming to warp and twist. I could hear it pursuing me, its footsteps echoing impossibly. I found myself in a bedroom and dove into the closet, pulling the door shut behind me. And that's where I am now, trying to stay quiet as I hear it searching for me. But something's wrong. My skin feels too tight, and when I look at my hands, I swear I can see something moving beneath the surface. The thing's voice echoes in my head. "It's too late," it whispers. "You're already changing. Soon, you'll be one of us." I can hear footsteps approaching the closet. The doorknob starts to turn. And as it opens, I realize with horror that maybe, just maybe, a part of me wants to be found. The closet door swings open, and I find myself face to face with the thing that was once Sarah. Its features are constantly shifting, a kaleidoscope of faces and forms that make my eyes water to look at. "There you are," it purrs, its voice a dissonant chorus. "Why do you resist? The joining is beautiful." I want to run, to fight, but my body won't respond. Instead, I feel myself standing, moving towards the creature as if pulled by invisible strings. "That's it," it coos. "Embrace your transformation." But as I step forward, a searing pain shoots through my head. Flashes of memory assault me, my family, my friends, my life before this nightmare. With a Herculean effort, I manage to stumble backwards, breaking whatever hold it had over me. "No!" I shout. "I won't let you take me." The creature snarls, lunging forward. But I'm faster, ducking under its grasp and sprinting out of the room. I race down the stairs, my only thought to escape this house of horrors. As I run, I notice the house changing around me. The walls pulse like living flesh, doors appear and disappear at random. It's as if the entire structure is transforming along with the creature pursuing me. I burst out the front door, only to stop short in shock. The quiet suburban street I remember is gone. Instead, I find myself on the edge of a vast, alien landscape. The sky is a swirling vortex of unnatural colors, and in the distance, I see impossible structures that hurt my mind to look at. Beautiful, isn't it? The creature's voice comes from behind me. This is the world that awaits us after the joining. A realm of infinite possibilities. I turn to see it standing in the doorway, its form now a writhing mass of tentacles and eyes. This isn't real, I mutter, backing away. It can't be. The creature laughs, a sound that sends shivers down my spine. Oh, it's very real. The veil between worlds is thin here. Your perception is simply expanding. As if to demonstrate, it waves a tentacle, and the scenery shifts. Now we're in a dark forest, ancient trees looming overhead. Then a bustling cityscape, but the buildings are wrong, twisting in ways that defy physics. With each shift, I feel my grasp on reality slipping. Stop it! I scream, clutching my head. Make it stop. The shifts cease, leaving us back on the alien plane. The creature moves closer, its voice almost gentle. I can make it stop, Alex. Just give in. Let the joining happen, and all this confusion will end. For a moment, I'm tempted. The constant shifts in reality are maddening, and I can feel something alien squirming in my mind, trying to take control. Wouldn't it be easier to just let go? But then I remember the tape, the joining, and a thought strikes me. This thing, whatever it is, it needs media to spread. The video, the Tinder profile, bear its vectors of infection. I reach into my pocket, fingers closing around my phone. The creature's eyes widen as it realizes what I'm about to do. Wait, it cries, but it's too late. I hurl my phone to the ground with all my strength. The screen shatters, and for a moment, everything freezes. Then, with a sound like reality itself tearing, the alien landscape begins to crumble. The creature howls in rage and pain. What have you done? I watch in awe and terror as the world around us disintegrates, taking the creature with it. Its form unravels like a tapestry being unweaved, each thread vanishing into nothingness. As it fades, I hear its final words, barely a whisper, "This isn't over. We are Legion. We are eternal." And then, silence. I find myself standing on a normal suburban street, the sun rising on a new day. Sarah's house is gone, an empty lot in its place. My shattered phone lies at my feet, the Tinder app glitching on its cracked screen before going dark. I should feel relieved, but a creeping dread fills me. The creature's last words echo in my mind. We are Legion. How many more are out there, I wonder? How many dating profiles are traps, luring in unsuspecting victims? And worse, how do I know I'm fully free of its influence? As I walk home on shaky legs, I catch my reflection in a store window. For a split second, I swear I see something moving beneath my skin, a hint of tentacles and too many eyes. I blink, and it's gone. But the fear remains. I've destroyed my phone, deleted all my social media accounts. I've warned my friends and family, but few believe my wild story. Most think I've had some kind of mental breakdown. Maybe they're right. But at night, when I close my eyes, I see that alien landscape. I feel the pull of the joining, the promise of transformation. And sometimes, just sometimes, I find myself longing for it. I know they're still out there. The creatures, the gateways to other realms. And I know that someday, somehow, they'll find me again. Because the truth is, a part of me is already one of them. The joining may not be complete, but it has begun. So I wait and I watch. Every stranger on the street could be one of them. Every text message could be their attempt to reach me. The world looks normal, But I know the truth, reality is a thin veneer, and underneath lurks something ancient and hungry. If you're reading this, consider it a warning. Be careful who you swipe right on. Be wary of connections that seem too perfect. Because out there in the digital ether, something is waiting, watching, swiping. And if you see a profile that seems familiar, a beautiful woman with long dark hair and piercing green eyes, perhaps swipe left. For your own sake, swipe left. As for me, I'll keep fighting this thing inside me. I'll keep searching for answers, for a way to truly end this. But I fear it's a losing battle. The pull the other side grows stronger every day. Sometimes, late at night, I find myself reaching for my new phone, my finger hovering over the Tinder icon. The urge to connect, to find another like me, is almost overwhelming. So far, I've resisted. But I don't know how long I can hold out. The joining is patient. It can wait. And deep down, in a part of myself I try to ignore, I know that someday, I'll swipe right again. And when I do, I'll be the one saying, don't mind the mess. I'm still settling in. Until then, I'll keep watching. Keep waiting. And if you ever match with someone named Alex, who loves hiking and old horror movies, well, maybe you should keep the lights on tonight. Just in case.